Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Sports for Dummies, Series 4, Episode 2 of this brilliant podcast. Now, before we jump into this episode, for those that don't necessarily know what Sports for Dummies is, we're going to start by asking Hope, how are you doing?
But if they don't know what it is by now, where have they been?
Honestly, what's been going on? Yeah, what
Series
has been going
4,
down?
Episode 2, a little throwback to Episode 1, by the way. We chatted about swing ball.
Yes.
Look at my thumb, Lewis. What's on my thumb?
Oh, dear.
Plaster.
Injury.
Do you know why?
Yeah, you've been at the wars.
I was putting up the swing ball with a hammer
Oh, my
and made me have a blister. But it's ready. It's ready for our battle. And again, for those who don't know, who maybe have just discovered this podcast, Lewis dissed swing ball.
No,
it is.
that is a strong
That's a strong
word.
bit of clickbait.
That is a strong word. I did not know. And in fact, I had other people messaging me. I take nothing away.
Did you?
Yeah, I have no problem with swing ball. I just can't play it myself. But actually, I got sent a number of videos of literally, I got sent from one of my mates called James, an actual swing ball tournament, like a professional game where it was two pairs playing, smashing the ball backwards and forwards, and it is unbelievable. So take nothing away. It's a fun sport. It's just not for me.
Just because he's not very good at it.
No, and I'll hold my hands up. I'll be honest. I'll be honest and say that. But for those listening, if you don't know what this podcast is, we wrap up the 3 biggest stories of the week, full of drama, full of laughs. But today we've got something slightly different. Now, normally we'd go in and me and Hope were very excited. We were going to do lots of kit reviews. The Premier League kits are coming out now for the new 22-23 season. But some teams haven't released their blooming kits. What's going on? It's the 20...
Are they behind?
I don't know.
Are they the designers slow? Have they got when you get a carpal tunnel or repetitive strain injury? Have they got that? Like the sewers, they're like, I can't do it anymore.
I do not understand. Do you know what? Normally, though, in fairness as well, I'm even more confused because sometimes they do delay kit releases because the season starts later. But because the season starts earlier this year because of the World Cup going on, so where are the blooming kits? And even if you don't release your home kit, you've got to release at least an away and possibly a third too. Don't know if they're planning to do it on the same day. Who knows? But either way, we're doing something slightly different today, me and Hope, because I had an idea. You see, because this year, Hope, as we've discussed, it's the 30th anniversary of the Premier League, rolling it all the way back to the 1992-93 season. So today, for that big stuff.
The big years ago, that is.
The big years. That's the first year of the Premier League.
Before our lives begun.
Yeah, we weren't there. We didn't get to witness any of this. So this is literally...
We were measly little swimmers at that point.
That's an awful thing to say.
Biologically correct.
But okay, take nothing away. That is right. But either way, at that point, we weren't alive. So we're doing a quick rewind for kits that I've actually never seen before. Some kits I've never laid my eyes on, had no idea they existed. But there you go. Also, some clubs I didn't realise were in the Premier League the year the league was actually formed after the first division. But also the reason why we're doing this too is because there are some absolutely mental kits. And we thought
how do you know if you've not seen them before?
Well, I've seen them now, haven't I? Because we're reviewing them.
I know.
What? That doesn't make any sense.
Sorry, I didn't think it made sense.
Right. Anyway, enough of that malarkey.
But now I've confused things.
To kick things off, we're going to go in order for those listening, and we'd also like to say very clearly a very obvious disclaimer, which we'll write all over our Instagram or wherever we're posting this. We do not own the rights to any of these images, so please do not sue us. We have no rights over the image. We take no credit for the images. We have no, Any words you were going to say?
We also have no money, so if you sue us, good luck.
Yeah,
because you'll be shaking us, and coppers will be falling out of our pockets.
You will. Yeah, the only thing you'll really be able to afford is the small piggy, a
99 flake. To be honest with you.
They're more than that. They're like £1.50. Not even that. In Toy Story.
They can't call themselves a 99 flake then, can they? That's just a lie. That's false advertisement.
And I hope in Toy Story, when the pig opens, I'm sure there's a scene where they're trying to get money in Toy Story, and the pig, they open his thing and nothing falls out. It'd be like that sort of scene where you'd open the piggy bank and you literally have tiny copper pennies. Like when you go to the arcades on the pier and you put the two-piece slot machines and you win it'd be like that sort of thing. So please don't sue us. This is all for fun and games. We're not going to earn money off this. This is just simply for fun. So please just enjoy it, have a laugh, and don't take it too seriously. And please also, for those listening, don't get offended if we don't like your kit, because some kits are just horrible, and that's just how it is. There are plenty of kits Liverpool have had. You hold your hands up and you say they're gross, and you just move on.
Yeah, you might we might say a kit is great and you'll say, bleh. So look, it's just opinions. And on that merit, should we stop talking about getting sued and jump into it?
Absolutely, Hope. We'll start with kit number uno, not number dos. We're starting with Arsenal in order, which is the 92-93 Cup double season. They came 10th in the Premier League. So it wasn't a great season for them, but, sorry, as in wasn't a great season for the Premier League, but great in terms of cups. Hope, thoughts on the kit?
Now, I do like the bright red of this. It looks brighter in the picture of it hanging.
Yes.
Rather than Ian Wright. Yeah?
Yeah, you bang on. Well done.
There we go. Wearing it. But I think that's just because it's an old photograph. But overall, reminds me more of a American football jersey than it does a football top. Is there a reason that they've gone with that design? Is it meant to look American football-y? Because if that wasn't the plan, that's what's happened.
Interesting. Well, Hope, often lots of the kits back in the day were very baggy. That was just the style of them. No one really knows why. That was just the design. They like making kind of these 3/4 sleeve shirts. But no, that is just the design. I think this kit is absolutely beautiful. I think it's an absolutely classic shirt, especially with Ian Wright wearing it. It's a great shirt. I like the fact that the Arsenal badge is retro in the middle with the JVC sponsor. I think it's a really, really nice shirt. I will say, I find the sleeves a little bit weird. I don't like the fact there's white and then red and black and red and white. I think it looks a bit strange, but I like the old sort of collar design. And I just think it's a really neat kit. It's just very clean. Hope, where have you ranked this from the 22 teams in the Premier League?
Oh my goodness. Have I ranked it? It's not actually on my ranking as a top one.
Really?
I'm going to place this. I'm going to put it at 18.
You're putting it 18th out of... Wait, as in number one being the best, 18th being 22nd being the worst.
It's 22, right?
Yeah.
So I've got a top four. How I've done it. Is that okay?
Right. That's fine.
So this didn't make my cut.
Okay, fine. Well, I've done all the kits. So this for me goes in second place. Second place.
Right, it's going to go 18th place for me.
Okay, that's fine. Right.
I don't... Also, back to me.
Yeah.
Just a second. I don't like the kind of thick bit at the bottom of the sleeve.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
That's a different material. Not a fan.
Yeah.
Moving on to kit number 2. It's from Aston Villa, I believe.
Yes, Aston Villa. Now, they had an amazing season, Hope. They actually finished second. They were in the lead to win the Premier League up until spring, bottled it right at the end. My thoughts on the kit. Do you know what? Again, retro feel. For me, it's a little bit too ice hockey-ish. It reminds me quite a lot of that American style with the tie-up laced collar.
Ugh.
The only thing I find a bit weird as well, and actually this this a bit conflicting because I like it on another shirt, but I don't like the fact that the badge...
No spoilers, Lewis.
No, okay, sorry. I don't like the fact that the badge is like doubled. I find it really weird, and I don't like how they've got the badge and then the badge again. I don't think it stands out, and it takes away from the actual crest. So for me, I've put it in 13th.
I agree with that badge thing. I didn't notice that at the time. One thing that you will notice me talking a lot about that I don't like is these patterns and writing that underlay the shirt. I don't know what it's called, but I don't like that at all.
No, I don't know what the name of that is.
It's on a lot of them, and it's on a lot of them now as well, and I'm not a fan. The worst thing about this shirt is the string. I hate it. It makes it look not like an American player, like an actual American football. Like when it has the bits.
Yeah.
I hate it.
I see what you mean. Okay, no, that's okay.
And I've said in my comments, I've said I respect the design flair of having that string neck, but I'm not a fan. So for me, this goes even lower than Arsenal.
Wow.
This is number 19. Oh, 91 I typed there. 19.
Number 19.
91.
Well, from Aston Villa moving up towards Lancashire, we're going to Blackburn Rovers. Now, Hope, what are your thoughts on that kit?
This one I quite like. This one reminds me of a Ralph Lauren shirt.
Yes, that is absolutely... I didn't even think of that. That is so accurate. It actually absolutely is.
And out of the ones that we've seen so far, this is my favourite. It looks a little bit horse ridery. And yes, it has got the pattern that I'm not a fan of, but I do like the symmetricalness of it. I
Mm.
like when the shirt's kind of, and obviously it's different colours, but I like when it's kind of a clear line and it's very
Yeah.
liney. I also like their logo, the rose.
Yeah, the rose, the Lancaster rose. Hope
It would look nice on a beer mat.
it would. No, it is a
design.
class. This is a very, very classy kit made by Asics as well. It's very, very nice. There's Alan Shearer wearing it too. It looks brilliant. You're right. It feels a little bit rugby-ish. I would say it's more like a rugby shirt than football, but it's a very classy kit. I like the way as well that sometimes on shirts you see, you'll have a shirt that isn't necessarily all matched up with colours. Sometimes they'll have like a lighter shade on one and a darker on the other. I like the fact it's absolutely spot on with both. It's a great shirt. I've put this in 7th place.
Oh, 7th.
There you go.
I also like the shorts. Simple.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Yeah.
And the little drawstring. And he looks quite handsome in that outfit.
Do you know who that is?
He looks like he could be a Ralph Lauren model.
Do you know who that is?
You said his name, but I've forgotten what he said.
Alan Shearer.
Alan Shearer. Is that guy in the background wearing the shirt we just seen?
Yes, I think that is. I think that is the Villa kit, Hope. I think that is.
It is?
Yes, that is the Villa shirt. Yeah. There you go.
Good spot. Good spot.
Well done, you.
Right. Moving on then to Chelsea. We've got Mick Harford, whoever that is, wearing this one. Thoughts, Lewis?
Really, really boring. I mean, honestly, there is absolutely no flair to this shirt. The only thing I like about this shirt, Hope, is the badge. I think the badge is very classic with the classic CFC. You've got the red Chelsea line. It looks brilliant. I think apart from that, I quite like the collar too. I think it just lacks some pizzazz. It's just not there. I think for me as well, I just think the sponsor is a little bit too big. I know it looks slightly smaller when you're actually when the player's wearing it, but on that photo they've got there, it doesn't look right. And I don't like the way as well. The other thing I thought was a bit funny, they've kind of got the stripes on the side of the right sleeve, and I don't like the fact it's not matched on the other. It just looks a bit like. It reminds me of the Russian flag or like British Airways. It's kind of that feel. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
You like the symmetricalness like me then?
Yeah, I like, yeah. And I'm not feeling it. Anyway, Hope, what do you think?
I basically said the same thing to you. Not a fan, doesn't have a lot of flair, I don't like the weird patterns, and it's just a bit meh.
Yeah, I've put it in 17th.
For me, do I hate it more? That's the question I'm asking myself. Do I hate it more? I don't hate it as bad as the Aston Villa one. I'm going to place it at 16 for me.
Okay, 16. That's all right. Now, on to the Sky Blues, a team from the West Midlands. We're talking about Coventry City.
And this is Peter Ndeluvu.
Well done.
Ndelavu?
Ndeluvu, I'd guess, yeah.
I'm sure this is like a silent N.
Now this is going to be
sorry for butchering that. That's really not very nice, but I don't know how to say it.
That's okay. Hope, what are your thoughts on this kit?
I like this one a lot.
Really?
Yeah, it reminds me of tie-dye. And it's really summery. I feel like this is like a nice outfit. I mean, I'm basing this on the picture of the man. I didn't actually look at the one by itself, and now I feel like I'm mugging myself off.
Hope.
I will also say I was looking at this earlier when my niece was round. And she's very clever, right? She's 2 years old.
Yeah.
I didn't tell her what I was doing. She came over and went, Mo Salah, because it was football.
Oh, well done. That's impressive. Anyway, there you go. For 2.
Very impressive.
Very impressive.
Obviously, that's not Mo Salah, but do you know what I mean? Anyway, I might have to go back on what I've.
Well, Hope, do you want me to?
No, you know what? I still like it. Sky blue. I like it.
Okay. Oh, well, look, that's your opinion. That's great. I think this kit is absolutely hideous. This, for me, is the most ugly shirt I think I've ever seen. It's absolutely rancid. Do you know what? It reminds me, honestly, of sort of an outdoor pool with the sun shining, the shimmering on the water. I think.
No, do you know what? It looks like, you know, when you have a swimming pool and you have like the inner layer, the inner lining.
Yeah. It's exactly like that.
It looks like that.
I think the Peugeot doesn't work in a darker blue. The badge is not stand out at all. I think the weird kind of tick sponsor is just hideous. This for me is last place. Horrible shirt.
Last place.
Yeah, I'm just not a big fan. Sorry.
Number 6 for me.
Number 6. Wow. That there you go. Difference of opinion. There you go. Interesting.
There you go.
On to
moving on.
Go on.
Jinx.
Whoops.
Woo! Moving on now to Crystal Palace. Now, I like this a lot. The team colours are clear. It's striking. The colours are bold. It's like a big bright red and a big bright blue. Again, the symmetricalness is there for me. okay, the tulip computers, bit excessive, bit big, but they've probably paid a lot of money for that. I think this kit is better than their kit now, and I think they should bring this kit back.
Wow. Big calls there from Hope. Big calls. Now, Hope, what are you going to get? Where are you going to put this then? What's your opinion on this? Where are you sticking
Number
it?
5. Number 5 for me.
Number 5. Wow. Hope, for me, this kit was designed by Bukta. Now, I'll start by saying the positives. I like the retro badge. I think the retro badge is very, very cool. And again, as you said, it's very clear.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? The eagle.
It's like a different bird altogether.
Yeah, it's class. And I like the collar too. I think the collar's quite neat. Although there are some negatives for me. This, for me, again, you're very right. It is very much a clear Crystal Palace kit. There's no two ways about it. But I think it is way, way, way too in your face with the colour. I think that red is it's like burning your eyes red. The other thing I don't like, and I'm really disappointed by it, is the weird blue stripe down the side. I just think it's really odd. Obviously, it comes.
It's both sides.
But it just looks weird. It doesn't look normal, and I can't wrap my head around why it's so small. I couldn't understand why they've made this enormous tulip thing smack bang in the middle, and then they've got this wimpy, these tiny little like blue lines.
Wimpy lines, friends.
It's all frail lines. I just think it's rubbish. So for me, although I like Crystal Palace, but I don't like this shirt. 20th place.
I think if that big stripe was in there by itself, it would look weirder.
It would. No, I'm not saying that, Hope, but what I think would make more sense is to make them all symmetrical. So make the two blues on the other side the same size as the one in the middle. Or equally, make the one in the middle smaller. I just don't like the fact that it's not equal.
Okay, that's fair enough. So there you go. I mean, there's a boxer called Richard Riakporhe, and he's a big Crystal Palace fan. And his shorts, I mean, he's a very good boxer. But he has this very unfortunate, he has the Crystal Palace badge on his shorts, but it's right on his butt, like right where, like excuse what I'm going to say here. It's right where his butthole would be.
Oh,
and
blimey.
it doesn't look good. It looks like a bird's coming out of his bum. So maybe rethink the shorts is all I'm saying.
For Richard Riakporhe. Well, there you go. On to a slightly different club now. We are going to go to a team in Liverpool called Everton, the Toffees. Hope, what do you think about this shirt?
Well, we see Phil Neville wearing it there. His shorts are quite skimpy, aren't they? For one,
This is the thing about shorts back in the day. Very long, very baggy.
They look like boxers.
Yeah, it's like boxers. Massive, massive, massive shirts. Literally non-existent shorts.
Surely that caused problems in terms of pulling each other's shirts.
Yeah, I mean, it probably did to an extent. I can't say on that.
We weren't here. We weren't born.
No, I wasn't there.
Nothing special here with this one. Don't like the pattern. Again, it looks cheap and it looks shiny. Not a fan of the shiny shirts either, by the way.
No, I understand that. Hope, for me, the year Everton obviously wore this kit was 92. They finished 13th, which was their lowest league finish in over a decade. And that's exactly how I feel about this kit too. It's just strange. It's just a strange season, strange kit. I just think there's way too much going on. I think when you look at it again, it's a bit weird when you see a photo of it versus player worn. But for me, the NEC is absolutely massive. It's way, way too big.
The font is hideous also.
Yeah, really hideous font. And if you scroll up to the other image, the other thing I find a bit weird, again, is come back to those patterns. Some of the writing, I like that kind of cool graphic when they've got the team name, but I just think the EFC doesn't work alongside all the lines. I just think it doesn't match up. It's like you've got some bits have got EFC over them, then some bits they've tried to squeeze it in amongst the weird jigsaw-y pieces. Just think it's a bit strange.
Most of it is FC, like French Connection.
Well, it's EFC, so but again, you're right.
No, I know, but you can't really see the E.
No,
a lot of the time.
It's just odd, and I'm not a massive fan of it. So I've put Everton, stuck you in 16th, mid-table.
Well, I'm going to go unlucky for some, 13, because that's where they scored.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. I listened. I listened to you.
You did well there. On to the Tractor Boys. We're going now over to East Anglia for Ipswich Town.
Oi, East Anglia! Way! Tractor Boys. Okay, again with a string. Is it a top or is it a football boot? What the hell is with the laces? Leave them on the shoes. The logo is a horse, I've put in my notes here, so I don't think there's any significance to the laces, though I could be wrong.
That's a question I can't answer.
Do you know what? Because Lewis said to me, Hope, have a look at the kids, but maybe do some research, because you might say you don't like something, but there might be a meaning behind it. So I've tried to be open-minded there. I've been like, okay, well, there's a horse. I even Googled it. Nothing significant about the laces I could find. So it's a bad idea. Get rid.
Yeah, I think for me, Hope, personally, and I'm disappointed for my mates at Sport Ipswich because I have quite a few and I have a bit of a soft spot for Ipswich, don't mind the club. This actually was their inaugural season, of course, in the Premier League. In January of that season, they were in 4th place and they ended the season in 16th. So bit of a downhill sort of snowball season, a bit like this shirt, really. When you first look at it, I like the colours, like the bold design, but when you start looking at it more, it actually looks really weird. And the thing I think, again, that comes back to it, this is where I feel slightly different. I think that badge, the Ipswich badge, is absolutely iconic with the horse on it. I think with that red background, it is just horrible. It has no
It makes it look
relevance.
cheaper.
Yeah, it does. It's right. They've stitched on the badge and gone, oh crap, we need something else. Let's just put that on the kit. And I think, again, it feels way too ice hockey-ish for me. I think the logo, the Fisons, is a bit too big. I don't absolutely hate it, but I think it's a shirt that I would see on an ice hockey pitch. So for that reason, ice hockey rink. So for that reason, I'm putting it in 19th.
I do think this picture of this footballer, who is this? Do we know?
No, I don't know.
Mr. Ipswich, we'll call him. If anyone knows, get in touch. sportsfordummiespodcast@gmail.com. Call us out on our errors. I prefer the long sleeves on this, and normally I don't prefer long sleeves. But actually, I think it looks a bit better. It looks better on.
Yeah, absolutely.
And his expression is helping me like it more because he's like, hoo! So, yeah. Anyway, moving on to Leeds United.
Yes. Hope, what do you reckon about this very white and plain shirt?
You mentioned the sleeves earlier on. So, in my notes, I put, what's with the giant sleeves? Now I know.
Yeah.
These look particularly giant, I will say. These sleeves.
Yeah.
What I do like about the sleeves, though, is the small detailing at the bottom, the logo being repeated. I quite like that, and that's on a few of these old shirts, and I'm a fan. Something else I noticed, this Admiral logo. I know Admiral is obviously insurance, right? I think.
Yeah, they did make sportswear too, as it says, that's their sponsor as well, Admiral Sportswear.
Oh yeah, in big letters, right there, Hope. But nowadays, I don't know if you know this, Lewis, but Sainsbury's have a brand of men's clothing called Admiral. And my dad has so many polo shirts with the logo Admiral.
Ah, interesting.
So when I saw this, I just screamed to me, Sainsbury's menswear. Anything else I put in my notes I haven't mentioned? No, that's all. That's all from me.
No, well, Hope, what I'm going to comment is they had actually some of the best home form in the league in this shirt. They were really, really decent. Although they didn't win one game away from home. They were absolutely terrible away from home. So maybe it says something about this great home kit. For me, again, like the old badge, just like you said, I'll echo what you say. I like the way that the sleeve's done. I think it's brilliant. My only other thought, though, the sort of ribbed collar, really, I don't like that. Reminds me a lot of Liverpool a couple of seasons ago. We had a very, very similar collar. Yeah, and I cannot get behind it. I can't get my head around, especially when it's such a clear colour. I think if it was a white collar, they might have got away with it. But because it's blue, obviously the colours of Leeds, it just doesn't work. And I think for me as well, it's just a bit plain. I think that, again, that massive Admiral Sportswear branding, that the sponsor, it's just not very interesting. I've put this kit in 15th, so yeah, slap bang mid-table. But take nothing away, that badge is beautiful.
It's not interesting to look at the Admiral Sportswear. But if it weren't there, it would feel like it would be missing something.
Yeah, but they could have something fun, like, they could have had like M&M's or something cool, and it doesn't. It has Admiral. Like, if it had a cooler sponsor, I'd have backed it more. But it's because it's got, imagine if Liverpool with their Nike sponsor now, we had Nike, we had the Nike logo, and then we had Nike sponsor. It just looks odd. I don't like the fact it's Admiral and Admiral. I just can't get behind that, unfortunately.
Well, there we go. I do like the little string on the shorts.
And there you go. But moving on,
old schoolage.
Moving on to our team, and this actually is a centenary kit. This is a 100-year anniversary for Liverpool. Of course, we were formed in 1892. So this is our 100th year kit. Hope, thoughts?
I'm holding my mouth because I've put in my notes, I shouldn't diss Liverpool anyway, because they're my team. Now you've said about the century thing.
Centenary, yeah.
I feel even worse for what I'm about to say. The collar is too thick and would get very sweaty, right? The Adidas sleeve is a bit much, but I do appreciate that it's something a little different. Also super shiny. The material looks cheap. I know the badge is old school, and it's obviously changed now and there's more like green involved. That
was a retro badge. That was only made on that kit for that season because of...
Oh, was it?
But I'm not...
Well, don't like it.
No. My thoughts exactly. Hope, again, very hard to dish your own team, but unfortunately things do have to happen. I think this colour is great. I think it's a really good style of red. The shininess I have mixed feelings about, but either way, I think it's a great, great shade of red. Bit overly baggy, and I'm not, my only thought on it was the reason why, so I've put it 13th, and the reason for that is it's a 100th year anniversary kit, and you would have thought they'd have done something a bit more exciting. I think those 3 stripes on the side are kind of a bit weird, but overall, actually, when taken into account it's a 100th year anniversary, they tried to do something different. I prefer it to say like Leeds because it's a little bit more exciting. There's just more going on with it, even if it is kind of a bit interesting. I've put it 13th. I think it's an okay kit, but it's certainly not a kit that I'd ever buy for myself.
They've tried,
yeah,
but they failed.
They've definitely tried.
They've definitely failed.
And on to another team, actually, who are known as the Sky Blues. Also, Hope, another nickname for them, is the Citizens. We're talking about Manchester City, who actually have quite an interesting kit. Hope, what do you reckon?
I like the design of the bit where the buttons go. We have a little closer look there. I like that bit. Bit weird, bit different. It is very unique, I've put here.
Yeah.
And I also respect the MCFC. Obviously, we mentioned it earlier on the Chelsea kit. Was it Chelsea?
Yeah, no, Everton.
God, they're all merging into one. But you couldn't see it properly. This you can see more clearly. It doesn't really do it for me, but I do like that they've tried to do something.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's an interesting kit. They came 9th in the Premier League, so not bad for them really. My standout for the shirt, I think the brother sponsor is absolutely classic. That's a Japanese electronics company. I think that looks really, really classy alongside the old City badge. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, again, I agree. The font looks good.
Yeah, I like that. I'm not so fond on this kind of weird MCFC graphic all over. And the other thing I just can't, I like the collar. I like how it's quite like tight knit and quite neat. I just don't understand, again, these stripes on the sleeves. I don't get it. I don't understand why they have this weird pattern and not on the other side. I don't mind. And again, it's not a sponsor. That's just the design.
Well, isn't it Umbro?
Yeah,
isn't that
it just looks out of place. It just doesn't look right. But overall, I've put this kit 12th. So just shy of slap bang in the middle. Not a bad shirt, but I'm not a massive fan of it.
Beats Liverpool for you.
That's right.
They look like paintbrush strokes. I didn't even notice.
Yeah, they're just a bit weird, aren't they? And I don't know. But again, nice badge. Okay.
Or like sellotape when you do it with your teeth, so it doesn't go quite perfect.
We're going to move now to the other side of Manchester. We're going over to the Red Devils, Manchester United. And Hope, what do you reckon about this shirt?
Again, with the laces, can we not? What is going on? I've put here on my notes, it almost looks like Gaston from Beauty and the Beast would wear this.
That is unbelievable. Gaston.
As of all affirm, as I mentioned earlier, that David Beckham there wearing it. I prefer shorter sleeves than longer sleeves. So, and also with the kits being so baggy, long sleeves just look even baggier. Almost, he looks like, a bat has that extra skin.
Oh, you mean
a squirrel.
You mean the
whatever
the flying foxes?
They have that like extra bit of skin between their elbow.
And they can fly.
He looks like that. I think. I've also put the red is lovely and bold, and I do like the MFC font. It's nice.
Yes.
But it's not a favourite of mine. I like how it's like 3D.
Interesting. Hope, I think this kit is an absolute stunner for the reason as well. It's a very, very iconic shirt. Now, this was, of course, the first shirt that was ever worn to win the Premier League. That was the first top flight win in 26 years for Manchester United. They swapped the season before from Adidas to Umbro. I think Umbro have done a really good job. Contrary to opinion, I think this lacing actually looks quite neat. And I think the reason for that is because it matches the red. My only reason for it is I think if it was in white, it would look silly again. But I think it's actually harder to see on this shirt than the other one, say, of Ipswich, which was really, really obvious. And I quite like the fact as well that it says sharp. I think this kit is sharp. And unlike the City shirt, I like the fact it has the MUFC graphic. They're quite big. It's bold. It's a nice shirt. I've actually put this in 3rd place.
Oh, it's bronze. By the way, I've stopped doing my numbers because I didn't read the brief properly and I didn't do that. So apologies.
That's fine. Don't worry. That's cool.
Give my opinions.
You can give an opinion.
I will say also, a bit of a health risk, these laces, because if that hit you in the eye, the plastic bit, ow, that would
You're
hurt.
in trouble.
Also, has David Beckham had a nose job in his life? Because he looks very different here. I know he's like 12, but...
I don't hope I. That's a question. That's a question I actually have no idea.
Does anyone know the
about.
answer to that? sportsfordummiespodcast@gmail.com, or if you're watching on YouTube, comment below.
Do let us know.
Next up, Middlesbrough.
The mighty borough.
Middlesbrough.
Hope John has to I'll kick things off.
Yeah, go on.
All right. Now, I think this is actually a really classy shirt. I think this is a bit of a classic, actually. Really, really like the design. We've got the Imperial Chemical Industries, the ICI logo. I think that actually works perfectly on the shirt. Although it's quite big and bold, I like it. I think the other thing I quite like as well is, again, come back to those sleeve cuffs. I think they're really, really classy, fun colourways. The colours of Middlesbrough looks brilliant. The only thing I would comment that it's kind of meant it dropped down just slightly in my rankings. I don't like the fact they've got the funny white shoulder caps. I think that looks a little bit silly. If the white was kind of blended in some way, that would have been better. But overall, I think it's a very classy shirt. Like the sort of the cut collar. Again, nice badge. I've stuck this in 4th place.
Oh, okay. So it just creeps after David and his old nose. Okay, I'm not starting rumours. I don't know if that's true. I'm agreeing. Got too excited there. Because I agree.
Don't worry.
I agree with you. I like this shirt too. And the reason being is because of the symmetry and the angles in this. Obviously, there's some quite clear stitching where there's like triangles even, these shapes. And I like that. Okay, the white is a little bit weird, but because it's symmetrical, it works for me. I also really like the detailing on the bottom of the sleeve and on the collar this time. I like that. I'm a sucker for that. What I'm not so keen on is the ICI logo because it's so big, but they probably wouldn't have been able to do anything with that.
Yeah.
Am I saying it right? ICI?
Yeah, ICI. I think it's ICI, yeah.
I do like the Admiral badge having the kind of red background going through it.
Yeah.
I wonder if they could have switched maybe the spacing of the Admiral and the ICI. Probably not.
Okay. No,
but
they
that
could
would
have
have
done that. But
that would have looked better for me, I think.
Not a bad idea. Hope in fact, it will be your local team, the boys that are also known as the Canaries. We're talking about Norwich City, and they're very, very interesting. This is actually known, Hope, genuinely. This is what the kit is called. The bird poo kit.
I'm not surprised. To me, it looks like a puzzle that's been sicked on.
Really?
It's a mess. I hate it. I really hate it. This is the worst one. In my notes, I've put, the colours are great, but calm down. There's too much going on. Why couldn't why couldn't they just, can you believe I get paid to talk? Can't even get my words out. Why couldn't the designer stick?
Designer? The designer. Why can't the designer?
Why couldn't the designer stick to one thing? I don't like it at all. It's hideous. It's absolutely hideous. Also, they're not my local team, Kings Lynn FCR, but yeah.
Right, your local club that aren't in the non-league.
All right.
Okay, either way.
No, I hate it. I hate it with passion.
That's because you're allowed an opinion. That's cool. Contrary to your opinion.
Oh God, what did you love? You didn't.
I think this is a good kit.
I'm having an issue with my words. I was going to say, do you love the bird poo kit?
I think this is a class kit.
Why?
And there's a reason. And there's a reason.
But you didn't like the Man City one.
But you have to hear me out.
It's similar.
Now, this kit here, Norwich were tipped to literally come bottom of the Premier League. They were 250 to 1 to win the Premier League, Hope. They finished 3rd, and they ended up playing in Europe for the first time in their 90-year history. So this kit goes down in history as one of the most iconic shirts of all time, not only for Norwich, but in the Premier League. I think it's an absolutely iconic shirt. And what I like about it is that it's just bonkers. I think it's a really fun shirt. I like the retro badge. I think, again, the audacity of it, I agree. It's a little bit weird. It looks a little bit like sick and mixed with... Yeah, it is. You know, they've made a statement, and I like that. The other thing I think is quite neat as well, I think the Norwich and Peterborough Building Society works okay. I don't think it looks a bit weird. Again, the dark blue colour maybe doesn't work necessarily, but either way, I think this is a fun shirt. I think it's different. I've put this in 6th place.
I'm really, really questioning your taste. Also, the only thing that actually I agreed with in that whole detailing of what you thought about the shirt was you saying it's bonkers.
It is, but that's why it's fun. It's because it's bonkers. But I would rather wear this week in, week out than that boring Leeds kit, which had nothing about it. This shirt is fun. It's as well, when you see that shirt, if you see it from a mile away, you know that's Norwich City. If you see that, I don't know, that Leeds kit,
True.
You can name any, you know what I mean? Like, it's a very iconic shirt. So for me, 6th place.
Moving on to something, I think, a little bit more simple. I mean, everything is more simple than the Norwich kit, to be honest with you. It's Nottingham Forest. I like this. It's simple. It's a bold red, a bit like the Crystal Palace one earlier. And I like the stripes. I like the fact that they're thin.
Yeah.
That's all I've written.
That's okay. Like the pinstripes. Hope, I'm going to agree with you. I think this is a very, very nice shirt, and I'll make one thing very clear. I think the local brewers, the Shipstone sponsor, I think that's class. Really, really nice. Like the fact as well, it's in the middle, and I like the fact as well that the kind of the starfish shape is in line with the actual line. You can see it's.
Are you sure? On this picture, it's not.
But it's not like it's not skew. They haven't put the star at the beginning or to one side. I like the fact it's vaguely in the middle.
Yes.
That's what I mean. Sorry.
It's nice that the logo's actually got a star involved, because the others are just words.
Yeah,
and that's
which is just boring. Yeah, and I think the other thing that's class about this shirt, I think that old badge is absolutely stunning. That for me is one of the nicest badges I've ever seen. I think it's a really, really good badge. Very standout, very bold. I think, if I'm honest, the kit is yeah, I do. I like it because
to me it looks like a logo that the park is around the corner.
It does say forest on it, but I don't know.
This way to the forest.
For me, the only thing that I'd say that I'm slightly disappointed about, I think it feels a little bit like a bowling shirt. Again, it's very much like that shiny feel, the tipped collar. I do like it though. I've put it in 9th place. The only thing I think, if it was a bit more exciting, it would have gone a bit higher, but actually like quite a standard shirt, like it.
Okie dokie. Moving on then. You can introduce this one.
All right, we're talking about Oldham Athletic. Now, Hope, they actually finished mid-table after 11 games. This actually is quite an incredible shirt, although many people might not know this, because they had to win their last 3 games, and they were officially the first Premier League club to have a miracle survival. They won all 3 back-to-back, and they stayed up on the final day by goal difference, with Crystal Palace going down. So there you go. So for me, Hope, overall, this shirt is very boring. I like the JD Sports. I think it's fun. I like the old badge too. I like the way it works. JD Sports, quite cool, different. Again, Oldham Athletic, classy shirt, like the collar as well. I just think it's dull. I think there's nothing going on with it. The other thing I think that I don't know. It's like this shirt is actually signed, as many people will see there. That's not a weird imprint of it. And again, in one sense, that might have played into a factor. But I don't know.
I wonder how much it's worth on eBay.
Oh, I don't know, actually. It's probably worth quite a bit, to be fair. Probably won't be super cheap. But for me, I don't know. I'm not thrilled by it. I think the old badge is cool. I like the sort of the collar, but it's just not very exciting. And I've put it in 18th.
Okay. For me, this screams retro.
Yeah.
And that might genuinely be because it's actually someone's shirt that they've got signed. Yeah. So it looks more retro than the others. Also, the JD Sports logo is obviously retro.
Yeah.
And I like that. I'm not necessarily a fan of the logo itself, but it's nice that it's a brand that we know.
Yes,
and
I
we've
agree.
seen change, and it's a bit like, oh my goodness, it used to look like that. So it's a little bit exciting for that reason. Is it blue or is it purple, Lewis?
Well, this is my thing as well. I can't really work. I think it is blue, but it's also like a light. It's not lilac, but it is. It's like a light purple. It's really
violet.
I don't know, but that's one thing as well that annoyed me, was that the other thing, if you look at Two Hope, that I don't particularly like, is the weird red line between the sleeves and the actual shirt.
See, I like this.
Interesting.
I like that. I don't know why I like it, but I do. And I like the fact that it's not just a bit of like, this is kind of like paint, I think. This is like print, the other red line.
Yes.
But this is like a fixed stitching. I feel like we've got Kwan or Trini and Susanna today. I'm here for it.
Full analysis, yeah.
Is Oldham still a team? Because I've never heard of them.
Yes, they are. They play their football now in the lower leagues. They're in the EFL, so they dropped off massively. So that's probably why you wouldn't have heard of them. But there you go. They were in the first ever Premier League, although you may not have known of them.
I feel like they should really hone in on the owl more and maybe make a shirt that's got like trees on it.
Owls all over it.
Or owls. there you go. That might be a bit trippy. Next up.
Hope we're going on to the R's, a absolutely, in my opinion, unbelievable shirt. But we'll let you start this time. What do you think about this classic QPR shirt?
So we've got Les Ferdinand.
Yes.
Do you know what? I'm learning so much. I'm learning about all the players and the shirts. He's really going for it. Look at his legs. Look at that definition.
He's got huge. Yeah,
wow.
Big legs.
That is quite something. For me, it looks more like a rugby shirt than a football shirt. I think the stripes are making me say that because they're thick and they go that way across landscape.
Yeah.
What kind of stripes are they? Not vertical, horizontal. There we go.
Now, Hope, they're actually known as the hoops, which is why their design is in hoop format, which is what they are. So they've got hoops around them.
Oh, it's like hula hoops.
or an actual hula hoop, exactly.
Not obvious enough, I don't think. To me, it's not a hoop, it's a stripe. So get with the program.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
I do like the collar again because of the detailing.
Yeah.
As you can tell, I'm a bit of a sucker for that. I also didn't notice these buttons before, but that's quite a nice little touch. And the yellow adds a bit of nice energy, but overall, not a fan.
Okay, now Hope, this shirt actually finished as so QPR finished the season as the top team in London. So of course they were the top team wearing this shirt in London. They finished in 5th place. And for me, that matches the same stat. This for me is the number 1 shirt of the 22 kits. I think this shirt is absolutely beautiful.
Are you mad?
I think it's a really...
Well,
no,
that's a bit mean. You're allowed to have your opinion.
No, it's not. You can it's fine. But I'll reason. When was the last time, and I'll tell you this, when was the last time, aside Spotify this year for Barcelona, that I can recall a radio station being on the front of a shirt? I think that in one sense plays it out. I think that's brilliant. And QPR are known as the hoops. They are blue and white. This shirt is absolutely classic. It screams QPR. And if you zoom in on it as well, I love the QPR writing all over. I think that looks really, really neat. And I also think the red on the FM looks really classy. I have never seen this shirt before in my life, and I saw it and I went, that is a shirt that I think is an unbelievable kit and that most QPR fans would want all day long. This, for me, is the absolutely best shirt by far, 1st place.
I was about to say, and this is going to sound so dumb, but then again, I am the sports dummy, so I'm allowed. The logo that you mentioned, the little ones in the background, I was going to say, oh, they look quite royal. And then obviously it's called Queen's Park. So that's obviously the theme.
Do you know what? Do you know what the last letter is? Hope QP
Rangers.
So why would they be royal?
Queen's Park Rangers.
Oh right, so I got very confused
because the Queen is royal, Lewis.
I'm with you because Reading are the royal. Right, whatever. Skip on to the next. Anyway,
right.
Classic shirt. Get that in your bag.
1.
Tommy Stewart. You need to be buying this shirt, mate. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
I wouldn't mind its legs, not on me, but just in my room. I mean, carry on.
Now,
Sheffield United.
Onto the Blades, Hope. What do you reckon about this shirt, Hope? Are you a fan or are you not so fussed?
The dots without the string. Even worse. I didn't think I could hate it more, but I do. I will say it does make sense more than the others because of the swords. And I say that because those swords and the things give me a kind of Three Musketeers vibe.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, it's shiny. Again, it's a bit bowlery.
Now,
not a lover, but not a hater either. Just kind of don't like it.
And in the middle. So you're not a laver because that's what the shirt actually is. Now, I'll start with the positives. I think this shirt actually, when I first saw it, I thought this was a beautiful shirt. I think the retro badge with the blades for Sheffield, known as the Blades, it's beautiful. I like the red and the white stand out. The sponsor by the timber merchant who are called Arnold Laver. I think that's class. Again, yeah. I like that would, of course, those buttons you say, like the Musketeers kind of feel, that would have had lacing in it. I think it's a really nice touch to the kit.
Oh, it would have.
Yeah, it would have been. But I actually think it works really nicely on this with the white. I think it complements the shirt really well. However, upon doing some research, Hope, I've got a fun fact for everyone listening, which knocked this down a lot of places. Because I
love your fun facts, Lewis.
I do. I had this in my top 5, but Umbro make this shirt, Hope. And the issue with this kit is that none of the shirts from shirt to shirt match. They are all completely unique because Umbro did it intentionally because that was a throwback to how original shirts were made. So actually, that red stripe in the middle on some kits would have been white and on others were red. So no shirts match. The badges were in different places. The printing of the logo. And that for me, I couldn't get behind that. I just think it's weird. Again, I get it's a throwback to retro times where you'd use one piece of fabric and you'd cut and do it and sew and it'd be done. But considering it's the first year of the Premier League, you want all the shirts to be the same. For me, that would be in my top 5 happily if they were the same. But because that's the case, I've put them in 11th.
Though I reckon if people have got these shirts now, they're pleased they're unique because that'd be worth more.
Oh, absolutely. And the fact that
we should have included in the ranking the eBay price. We'll note that for next time.
Yeah, there you go. We'll have to do it for next time. On to the Owls. We're now going to the other side of Sheffield, which aren't so appreciated. There
Oh
you go.
my goodness, I'm so silly. I thought this was their shirt for Wednesdays. And then I thought, why would you have a different shirt for Wednesdays? Was that a retro thing that they used to...
Please tell me you're joking.
I'm
Hope,
not.
it's not even the same colour. It's not even the same.
I know what I thought. Oh, that's Sheffield United's top, right?
Right.
Oh, that must be their Wednesday shirt.
So they've changed the logo, they've changed the colour, they've changed the sponsor. Enough of that. Right. Hope, for me, this shirt, do you know what? I like it. I think it's a very classic Owl logo. I like the Sanderson sponsor. They're actually a Yorkshire-based company too. So again, that's where Sheffield, of course, is based. So I like that. I like the fact they've got a local sponsor.
I thought it was Pepsi.
It does look a bit Pepsi-ish, you're right, but actually it isn't. They're Sanderson. They're a software company based in Yorkshire. So there you go. And I quite like the fact they've got a local sponsor. I like that they've gone home. They've gone sort of, local.
Is that because they wanted to go local, or is it because they didn't have a choice because they're quite low down?
No, Hope. Sheffield Wednesday are a big club. That would have been a reason for it. Would have been because of sponsorship, because of money, I suspect. I don't know the full reason why. But I think it's a classy shirt. The only thing for me I'm sort of a bit disappointed about, and the only thing that lets it down, is that I like the fact the Umbro is in the middle of the line. I don't like the fact the Owl is, and I think it looks a bit weird. So for me, I put this in 10th place. It would have gone higher if the Owl was on one of either the blue or the white. I just think it's a bit weird in the middle, so I've stuck it in 10th.
Yeah. Also, don't like this, how the Sanderson logo is stitched on. It looks like it was an afterthought.
Yes, I agree with that.
It also looks like, like pasta. Sometimes the edges.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
No.
It looks like it's just been cut off and stuck on with a Pritt stick. Also, my comment was, the shirts are better than the haircuts.
They're very old school, aren't they? That guy's literally gone for a grade 2 all over there. That's been his job.
Yeah. Also, how come his shorts are really small and his shorts are like longer?
I think actually, Hope, he's wearing leg skins, but the shorts are actually by his hands, so you can see there's more.
Oh yeah,
so
he's wearing like
compression
right.
shorts. Yeah.
I thought, he likes his short shorts. I thought.
No. So he's gone for a different look. Anyway, we're going to move a bit southern out. We're going down to the south coast to St Mary's. We're going for Southampton. What do you reckon, Hope?
For me, this was football club or bowling team. This one screams bowling.
Really?
To me.
Okay.
I think it's horrid.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Horrid Henry.
I've actually put this quite high again. So again, we're differing in opinion.
We're so different.
We are. And that's okay. That's important because difference is important. I've put this, Hope, in 5th place for 2 reasons. I think that badge is absolutely class. The rounded Southampton badge looks brilliant, very standout. You know exactly what the team is. I also think the Draper Tool sponsor works really, really nicely. You might not know what the company is, neither do I. But I actually like...
Well, it does. With that, I'll agree with you quickly because it is symmetrical with the collars, the collar being the same colour and the sleeves. So I can get on board with that.
Now, I put this in 5th place. I just think it's a classy shirt. Again, I'd probably regard this more as leisure wear. It's a bit like a bowling shirt. But looking back, for some of the kits we've seen already, it's a very plain shirt, but it's standout. You know who they are. Good shirt at Southampton, 5th place.
That wouldn't look good if you had a beer belly, though.
Your Draper Tools would be hanging.
It would be clingy.
It would be a bit grim. Now moving on to a team based in London Town, we're going to North London, specifically for Tottenham Hotspur. Hope, what do you reckon?
This one, I like, and I like it more than Mr. Tie-Dye further up.
Mr. Tie-Dye.
I love this button design.
Okay, yeah.
So I like the stripes here. I like the two-tone, and I love how it says THFC, Tottenham FC.
Yeah.
I like that. It's really small, a nice little nod. Love it. I also like the collar being these 2 different colours.
Yeah.
I think I like the plainer shirts more than the others.
That's okay,
I know you think they're kind of boring, but I like the white.
No, but...
And that's basically all I put. I put simple, but lovely.
Yeah. Hope, I don't disagree. I think there's something nice about a classic shirt, and I think this is very, very standout. And again, would have gone higher, but loses 1 point for a specific reason, which we'll get onto in just a sec. This shirt is amazing. Teddy Sheringham, 22 goals that season, who was the top scorer in the Premier League. So again, all Spurs fans will remember this shirt. I think the badge is absolutely iconic. The Holston sponsor looks great. I think the collar looks neat as well. And you're right, sort of the two-tone, what did you refer to it as?
I think I said, I don't know, jewel.
Is it collar? Part of the collar? I don't know, but either way,
the
whatever you...
button part.
The buttony bit.
Let's call it that.
Looks
The buttony
class.
bit.
The buttony bit. Now, I like that a lot, and it's a very clean design. My only issue, Hope, if you zoom out slightly, something that's a bit less obvious. Now, if you look on the sleeves, there are 2 blue tiny patches. Now, after doing some research and analysis of actual players wearing this shirt, on those kits, it actually says Spurs on it. And it's kind of a tiny little kind of like arrow-shaped thing, and it says Spurs. I just think it's a bit weird. I think you've got the badge, you've got Tottenham in the middle, you don't need that extra bit. For me personally, I like the fact it's blue, but I would have preferred a round blue cuff sleeve. So I've stuck it in 8th place. Strong shirt, but not perfect.
I quite like those little bits.
Interesting.
And I assume it's the same font as the THFC thing.
It is, yeah, it's the same sort of style.
I'm here for it.
Okay, interesting. Now, Hope,
I'd wear this shirt.
Would you?
With jeans.
With jeans. Wrapping it all off, we're talking about the mighty Dons down in southwest London. We're going to, last but not least, Wimbledon. What do you reckon of this shirt?
So this is now known as AFC Wimbledon.
This is AFC Wimbledon, that's correct.
Because Wimbledon died.
Yes. Well, again, along that, Hope, can be a special episode at some point. We actually, you know what we'll do, Hope? We'll try and get a fan on who can tell us all about it, because it's a very, very complicated history. But that's right. You've now got 2 clubs, AFC Wimbledon and MK Dons. But this shirt was the original Wimbledon FC.
When they were all friends.
They were all mates, no issues, all happy.
Is it kind of like, I know it's obviously different because there was maybe an argument that happened or whatever, but it's kind of like if Manchester had a team and then Manchester went to Manchester United and Manchester City.
Well, that's exactly what I'm with Liverpool and Everton. Again, a longer conversation for a bit of history, but exactly that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's how Liverpool and Everton actually split, because there were 2 differences. But that was, again, to do with religion, Catholicism and Protestantism. Both of them split because of that reason. This is slightly different, though, and it's a much longer conversation because it's very, very complicated. And there are lots of ins and outs of it. But either way, you're right. You're right.
So back to the shirt before we get too historical today. Not a fan of the yellow armpits.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's so that when players are sweaty, they don't get as bad sweat patches, because sweat patches don't show as badly on lighter colours. So maybe they were thinking that. Don't like the shiny pattern. Maybe I'd like it more if it was plain blue with the yellow armpits without the pattern. But as you can tell, not a fan of patterns through and through. I think this is gross. I honestly don't like it at all. Maybe the logo of Wimbledon's nice.
Yeah.
Admiral gets about, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They're busy.
And the sleeves look really silly as well, because they just look really
small.
Hope,
I'm going to tell you this. So this kit is actually very iconic too. Gone down in history books. For 30 years, they've had a record. They had 3,039 fans come and watch them at their home ground against Everton, which is the lowest attendance for a Premier League game ever in the history of the Premier League. That is the summary. That is the summary of this shirt. It's absolutely dreadful. There is nothing nice about it. It's a horrid kit, really boring. I don't like, you know what I find even weirder? The weirdest thing about this kit is the collar. It's as if someone...
wet. What is it? Is it there or not? It's like, when it's raining, but it's like, it's not heavy rain. It's just that horrible light dusting of rain. And you're like, what are you doing? Are you going to rain or not? Are you going to collar or not? What on earth is that?
My take on it is that a dude has got a pair... Before the shoot actually happened, a dude got a pair of scissors and quickly cut off the collar and went, that looks terrible. And they left that, and that's the remnants of the collar, the yellow bits. It looks grim. I don't like the fact as well. I like the fact there's no sponsor. That's the only positive. I like the fact there's no sponsor. Very retro.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even notice that.
That's the only... Exactly, Hope. It's something you don't necessarily pick up on. That, I think, is very cool. So that's the reason why it's not bottom for me. I don't like the yellow, kind of the weird yellow mark. Of course, that is the standard Wimbledon colour. I just don't think it works.
It's just random. Yeah. Like, you could have put it further down on the shirt in terms of down the sleeve further. At the bottom of the sleeve would have looked better.
And for me personally, of all the kits we've looked at, I actually think this kit is the shirt that has had the least amount of attention put into it. I think even the ones that are completely plain, I think Nottingham Forest, they spent more time doing this kit. This kit was designed in less than 4.5 seconds. 21st place for me.
Whoa!
And that, everyone, wraps up this episode of Sports Dummies. Thank you so much for listening. Let us know what you thought. Let us know any kits you really enjoyed, any kits you absolutely hate, or anything that you find interesting, our controversial opinions. Please do let us know.
You can get in touch, sportsdummiespodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. We're also on the socials as well, TikTok, Insta, Twitter, you name it.
We're there.
We're on it. And we will see you very soon for episode 3 of series 4. Lewis, Lots of love to you, my darling. Have a great weekend.
You too, Hope. And before we go quickly, I want to say one last thing to everybody listening. For those listening in a different country, if you have a team that you follow in a random league, it could be a league, say it could be the second division in America. You might be listening from Japan. Wherever you're from, please do let us know.
It could be Kings Lynn.
Could be Kings Lynn.
Say.
If you have a national league that you follow or a non-league team that you follow that you'd like us to review the kits of, please let us know, because we are going to do more kits in the future if you do enjoy this. So keep your eyes peeled for possibly more kit reviews and opinions.
Anyway.
Episode 2 all wrapped up.
Wonderful.
Peace.